Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be diving into Steve Hackett's Foxtrot at 50 plus Hackett highlights live at Brighton concert Blu-ray. So this version comes in a 3-panel cardboard digipack that includes 2 CDs and a Blu-ray disc that are all housed in a nice cardboard slipcase. There is no booklet included, but the panels do include a few photos, the set list and credits, and a short paragraph written by Steve Hackett about the concert. So after being blown away by Hackett's most recent concert Blu-ray, The Lamb Stands Up live at the Royal Albert Hall a few months ago, I just had to go out and snag up all of his other concert videos, and he has a lot. Starting with Foxtrot at 50. Foxtrot is the earliest entry in Genesis's holy trinity of album masterpieces, alongside Selling England by the Pound and The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. It's an album I have reserved for special occasions only, one to be savored from start to finish on a proper stereo system. Before watching this concert video, I hadn't really spent serious time with Foxtrot in several years, and even then my listening usually stopped with the 2 most celebrated tracks, Watcher of the Skies and Supper's Ready. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that I never truly gave the other 4 songs the attention they really deserved. But that oversight has now been fully rectified thanks to Steve Hackett's brilliant performance of this album in its entirety. Foxtrot at 50 was filmed on October 9th, 2022 at the Brighton Centre in Brighton, England, where Hackett performed the entire Genesis Foxtrot album in order to celebrate its 50th anniversary. Wow. As with every other Genesis Revisited style Hackett concert video, the first set consists of songs from his extensive solo career. Voyage of the Acolyte is Hackett's tarot card themed first solo album of 1975, and he performs 3 of that album's best tracks: Ace of Wands, A Tower Struck Down, and Shadow of the Hierophant. Hierophant is easily the best, most Genesis sounding song on the album, as parts of it were actually written by Mike Rutherford for the Foxtrot album, but were never used. The operatic female folk rock style lead vocals kind of ruined this song for me a little bit, but at least Amanda Newman sounds exactly like the song's original singer here, and she does a good job. The Devil's Cathedral is from Hackett's latest new album at the time, Surrender of Silence, and features Nad Sylvan on lead vocals. It's one heavy, creepy bit of prog rock, but at less than 7 minutes in length, it goes over quite well live. Hackett's other highly regarded album, Spectral Mornings, gives us the majestic instrumental title track, as well as his most catchy pop rock track, Every Day. Every Day features some nice harmony vocals from pretty much everyone on stage that can sing, including Steve. And after a couple turns of that intoxicating chorus section, Steve takes you on a wonderful extended guitar solo that would have fit quite nicely on any of those mid-70s Genesis albums. Basic Instincts is a short bass solo by the amazing Jonas Reingold that leads into Camino Royale from Hackett's 1983 highly strung album. This song begins and ends with some nice proggy instrumental sections and guitar solos that sound like Trick of the Tail outtakes, but sandwiched right in the middle is a short jazz pop ditty with Steve on some not so great lead vocals. Weird song, but it could end up growing on me, I think. Watcher of the Skies kicks off the second set, ushering in the Foxtrot album in epic fashion, as Roger King launches into what is arguably the greatest Mellotron introduction of all time. Nad Sylvan stands center stage atop an elevated ramp shrouded in near darkness. Behind him, 2 circular LED lights slowly swirl, heightening the tension, until he raises 2 glowing red lights before his eyes for dramatic effect. This has been a perpetual top 10 Genesis track for a reason, and this marvelous band really do it justice here. The especially Sylvan's wonderfully nuanced vocal performance. Timetable is sort of the forgotten Foxtrot track, but this charming Tony Banks song sounded superb here and provoked a huge smile on my face that remained for the duration of the entire Foxtrot performance. It was the first time this band had performed that song live. I've obviously heard Get 'Em Up by Friday and Can Utility and the Coastliners enough times to recognize them, but rather shamefully, I don't think I've listened to Foxtrot straight through in at least a couple of decades. And since neither of those tracks appears on any Genesis concert videos, watching this felt like rediscovering two long-lost Genesis masterpieces brought vividly to life by Steve and the band's incredible performances. I totally get why many Genesis fans have Foxtrot as their favorite album now. But we all know the main reason for that is for the contender for the greatest prog rock epic of all time, Supper's Ready. Hackett's classical guitar instrumental Horizons introduces the song first before he switches over to 12-string acoustic for the majestic Lover's Leap opening theme. God, I could listen to that song every day for the rest of my life and never get bored of it. Steve and band really do an extraordinary job with Supper's Ready and the entire Foxtrot album. And I can't really say enough about Nad Sylvan's brilliant performance on all of the Genesis material, really. Sylvan is certainly a great artist in his own right, releasing some pretty impressive solo albums this last decade in particular. So he's not really up there wearing any costumes or trying to exactly mimic Peter or Phil in the way that some of the big Genesis tribute bands do so well. At well over 6 feet tall with long curly blonde hair and Nordic facial features, he could not look less like the former Genesis frontmen, but he certainly does a marvelous job at approximating their vocals from the 70s. I love that the film kept in the entire encore pageantry, the band taking their bows, leaving the stage, and the standing crowd erupting as they cheer for one more song. It's moments like these that make going to concerts so unique and special. Well, they certainly didn't cheer for nothing, because after Steve introduces the entire band, Roger King launches into the stunning piano intro to Firth of Fifth. Hackett routinely ends his shows with Firth of Fifth and Los Endos, as he did here, and these two masterpieces were performed flawlessly. As with all of Hackett's Genesis Revisited concert videos, the production quality of Foxtrot at 50 was excellent all around. The audio quality in particular sounded extraordinary, and you can't really go wrong with either the LPCM stereo mix or the powerful DTS HD master audio mix. Hackett's guitar tones sounded unreal on this Blu-ray too. Although the video, lighting, and camera direction weren't quite as impressive as the more recent Lamb Stands Up Live Blu-ray, they are still top-notch. Most of the shots were close-ups from on stage or right in front of the stage, and I just wish they had shown more from further back to capture the whole stage show. The only special feature included is a 40-minute documentary which features some very insightful interviews with Steve and the rest of the band members before the Brighton gig. You even get a bit of a rig rundown from Steve, which was pretty cool too. The setlist shown here featured 16 songs, and the concert runtime was an impressive 2 hours and 22 minutes. As for my ratings of this concert Blu-ray, my overall production rating is a 9 out of 10. And my overall performance rating is also a 9 out of 10. So Foxtrot at 50 is yet another impressive Steve Hackett concert film celebrating the early Genesis catalog and one of the greatest albums of all time. Half a century after its release, this breathtaking performance has brought Foxtrot back into my regular listening rotation. Don't miss it. All right, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on this review in the comments. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Catch you guys next time.